even if the person you choose is wrong for you, you trust yourself that, hey, if that's what happens, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Because I know that when I get there, I'll be able to handle it. What's up, friends? Welcome back to another diamond edition of Psychopath Exposure. Diamond! My name is Kita, and just having a good time with you guys. Hope you guys are having a serene afternoon or evening or morning, depending on when you're watching this video. I know narcissistic abuse could skew our moods minute to minute. You can have a cup of coffee, and there comes the caffeine, and there comes the anxiety. Something that you can do just absolutely nothing, and you just have an unwanted thought, and bam, there's the anxiety. You look at your phone, oh damn, the narcissist hasn't texted me. There comes the anxiety. You look at your phone, oh damn, the narcissist just texted me. I wonder what this is gonna be. There comes the anxiety. It's madness. It's madness. Going through narcissistic abuse is one of the worst things I have ever experienced. And for those of you in the community, for those of you new to the channel, welcome. I'm sure you're in hell too. But I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you that there's a way out. I found my way out. A lot of people, a lot of supporters that are still supporting the channel and seeing the videos to remind them how bad it was, to remind them that if you ever go back, you're gonna get more of the same shit. Okay? I'm here to let you know. As long as you stick to the plan, things are gonna be okay. I know they seem dim right now. I know they seem hopeless, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And maybe you can't see the light because the fog is so dark. And you lose hope, right? You lose hope because if you look out into the horizon and all you see is blackness, you're like, fuck, there is no light. But the light is from within. And when you find it, you'll illuminate your way out of hell. And then you'll see other sources of light and you'll be drawn to it. So just stay with me, stay on the course, do not give up. Things will get better. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. Everything changes. So I wanted to highlight a comment where they go, everything you said is absolutely true. And only someone who's been through that shit can fully understand what you describe. If you try to explain it to your friends, unless they have been through the same, they won't be able to perceive it, and they might probably think you're making everything up and being dramatic. But I can tell you're not. Have you noticed that there are different types of narcissists, yet the damage they leave on the people who lived with them is absolutely equal? Damn right I've noticed. Damn right I've noticed. There are different types of narcissists because there are different types of people. You and I get the flu. You're not going to get, that disease. Whatchamacallit? I was going to say something that was going to trigger half of my audience, but I'm not going to say it. But, you get, oh, fuck it, the China virus. Anyway, you get these, and you and I will have different symptoms, but there will be one symptom that's universally the same. And that's pretty much how narcissism goes. Yeah, there are nuances. There are different names, different faces, different levels to this shit. But yet, the similarity is in the damage they cause. The similarity is with the trauma that you've endured. How come none of you endured this level of trauma at any ex-boyfriends or ex-girlfriends that you had throughout your life? What was it about this one that caused such almost unrepairable trauma and damage to your life? And why is it that everybody that has been entangled with one of these predators shares the same story, and you feel like if, I don't know, like if they're a fly on the wall in your house and they've been looking into your relationship all these years, it's like, how do you know? I remember asking my mentor, how the fuck do you know, bro? Like, how did you know this? Like, seriously, you're blowing me away. You're scaring me right now. How the hell did you know that? Because we all have relationships, and yeah, you know, people say, oh yeah, she's crazy, this and that. But those are just words people throw around. Those are just words people throw around. You know, when you really go through this shit and you start hearing these words and you do the research, you're like, oh, wait a second. That word comes with a list of like 40 red flag check marks, and my ex was doing all of those. What? How in the fuck? And yes, this is exactly how I felt. And I did lose my appetite, and I did lose the desire to live, and I couldn't get out of bed. And the trauma would come just when I thought I was good. The trauma would just come pouring in like someone dumped a barrel of trauma over my head upon opening my eyes in the morning. How the hell did that happen? Right? And that's how you know you're dealing with something evil, something not from this world, apparently. Because sometimes it seems like it's demonic possession almost, right? And it looms over you. So yeah, damn right I've noticed. And I'm really sorry you've been through that. Thank you for your videos. They have helped me a lot. Happy that they've helped. I'll just leave a question. In case you find it a good theme for a future video, how do you trust yourself again in your choices in regards to future relationships? And how do you stop seeing red flags in everyone after going through a relationship with a narcissist? How do you stop the fear of being deceived again? Do you think it will ever go away? And that was a lot of questions, not one, but I'll get to them. Thanks for asking. Big hug from Portugal. Okay, thanks for sending that in. All right, well, how do you trust yourself again in your choices in regards to future relationships? After you do the work, after you really dig deep and you do thousands and thousands of hours of meditation, and you really get in touch with your inner self. I know this is going out into outer space right now for some of you, or for most of you, but try to stay with me. When you can separate yourself from your thoughts, when you can observe the thoughts that you're having from an observer's point of view, from the outside looking in, and you realize I am not my thoughts. Because you can see yourself ruminating. It's like you pull away and you can see the conversation that you're having with your shampoo bottles. You can see yourself doing that from a higher perspective. And if you can just hold on to that and you can see and notice how those thoughts are creating emotions and your heart rate's going up and you're shallow of breath and all these things that happen, and that's also triggering a thirst for more thinking, and it's triggering on an unquenchable thirst, unquenchable, to keep digging into the past, in your brain of course, digging for answers, replaying the tape over and over again. And the more you do it, the more anxious you get, the worse you feel. When you can pull away and you can notice that, and you can notice it before it starts, like you can see the very first action of, hey, wait a second, I know where this leads. When you get good at doing that and you're on autopilot, meaning you don't have to worry about it, just happens. You're having a conversation and you can notice the pull to try to tell everybody about your psychopath ex or something like that, and you go, oh, there it is. Nope, I'm gonna refrain from doing that. Okay? When you get good at doing stuff like that, you start to trust yourself again. You start to trust yourself. Remember, the narcissist puts you on a spell. And when you're under that spell with a narcissist, you didn't trust your best thinking got you there, first of all, into that horrible relationship, right? But you don't trust yourself because you're constantly being gaslit. And the narcissist is telling you that the sky is red when it looks blue. Okay? And well, I guess the narcissist must be right because they keep telling me that and they're sure of themselves. And this one thing I know is that my narcissist is super confident and everything they say is right and I'm always wrong. And somehow you buy into that narrative and you self-destruct yourself, right? You didn't realize that the narcissist did that to you. The psychopath has been slowly but surely grooming you into thinking that way. So you don't trust yourself. So you're afraid of going back out there into the dating scene, which is toxic as fuck nowadays. And you're like, shit, I'm probably going to pick another narcissist, or I'm probably going to pick someone else that's bad. So of course, you're not going to trust yourself. So there's a lot of work that you have to do before getting to that point. Otherwise, you're going to repeat history. There's a lot of work that has to be done. Okay? I did a lot of work with my mentor. I have a coaching program where I teach the very same things that I did. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed psychotherapist or anything like that. These are the things that I did for me. These are the things I worked on with my mentor that helped me accelerate my recovery process, and it didn't involve any drugs because I don't do shit like that, right? And it's helped me, get out of that dark place and find myself again and rebuild myself and get to a higher paradigm. And then a higher paradigm and a higher paradigm. And I sound like a retard when I say that, but that's what it was. It was a fucking higher paradigm each time. And in that paradigm, there were cooler things happening and better quality of problems and better challenges that would happen. It's like, fuck, this sucks. But you figure that out too, and you keep going and you keep going. And the thing is that there's no ceiling, right? And you know, my ceiling, or this, I just said there's no ceiling, but I'm saying where I'm at now, for all we know, you can get here, right? And who's judging? Because what success and happiness and joy means to me, what that means to me may not be the same thing for you, right? It's not about material possessions. It's about being in this place where you're just content, you're just joy, and you accept when bad shit happens because you know that you can't have good without the bad. And you know that bad things are coming to you because it's part of your test, it's part of your journey. And life is about learning and growing. And when things seem super, super dark now, the sun's gonna shine tomorrow anyway, it's still gonna happen. And the more experiences you have like this, and the more you notice that that's the way it always is, then you can accept what just is. And when you accept what just is, that there's no problem. It's just life. That's how it is. Life is going to keep being life, right? It's just the way it's going to be. You can't get angry that there's gravity on Earth. You can't get pissed at that because it's always been here and it always will be here, okay? So yeah, there are bad relationships. There are wicked people. There are scammers. There are manipulators. There are psychopaths. There are narcissists. And not everybody gets entangled with them. At some point in another, I do think someone does, but it may not be the same way that you did, but just accept it for what it is, learn from it so that you can get out, grow, rebuild, recover, and pretty much conquer your life, right? So I don't know if that answers your question because that's really an open-ended question. How do you trust yourself? I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it. It's not something that you're going to do overnight, right? It's not something you're going to do overnight, but eventually you do start to trust that even if the person you choose is wrong for you, you trust yourself that, hey, if that's what happens, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Because I know that when I get there, I'll be able to handle it. And if it comes with sleepless nights for a short term, if it comes with a loss of appetite, if it comes with some anxiety, if it comes with some financial trials and tribulations or health challenges, it sucks, but I'll deal with it. And life goes on, and nobody really cares because everyone has their own shit too. So that's the best thing that I can say about that. I think you had you had a lot of questions. How do you stop seeing red flags in everyone after going through a relationship with a narcissist? Well, look, when you get out of a narcissistic entanglement, you become hypervigilant. And everything that everyone does, it feels like, oh, that's another narcissist attack on me. And everything and everyone does, it's like, oh, that's a red flag. Nope, they yell, they raise their voice at me, that's a red flag. Is it? Really? Are you that sensitive? Yeah, you are. You are that sensitive. You may not be ready to get into a relationship right now because guess what? People raise their voices. People raise their voices. Okay? If you want to be in a relationship with someone that's always whispering to you or just speaking at a monotone level, you're going to be bored out of your fucking mind. Okay? But you know what? There are people in this life that probably only want to be with people that whisper or speak at a monotone level, because there's over 8 billion people. So if that's you, then that's what you're going to have to find someone that speaks like that. And when there's a problem, when there's a fire in the house, when there's an intruder in the house, then they're going to be, hey, I think there's a bad guy in here, but don't get upset, honey. I'm gonna call the police. Bam! And they got shot, right? Or you didn't take them seriously, or you didn't hear them because they spoke so fucking low. So you have to, through exposure therapy, you have to put yourself in situations again and let these things come at you so that you can get stronger. Let them knock you down so that you can get back up again. Don't be afraid of getting hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, like Rocky Balboa says. Okay? So, look, we're not perfect. And in our imperfection, we're perfect. We're perfectly imperfect, right? Everyone has something that doesn't resonate with you. You might call that a red flag. And if it is, then fuck, then you gotta go. But make sure you're not overdoing it. Make sure you're not freaking out over the slightest thing because you have unprocessed trauma. Because you just may be missing out on something great. You see, with the narcissist, you probably didn't see red flags because you were being love bombed. You were being blinded by that. When somebody is just so enthusiastically willing to become your best friend overnight and they shower you with all these gifts and attentions, believe me, they're trying to recruit you. They're trying to recruit you into their cult. They're trying to lock you down. They're trying to get something from you. Okay? You know, in those big business meetings, right, where you're trying to close a deal, and they take you out to play golf, or they take you out to the bar, or they buy you a steak dinner. You know, like in sports, that's what they do. And they take you to these fancy hotels and dinners and all this shit, and they give you this amazing 6-star treatment in hopes that you'll sign with them. And then all that shit stops. But the whole point is they're trying to recruit you, right? So that might be a red flag when you meet someone and they take you on a helicopter ride on the first date. You know, they may have the means for it, but you know what? If we're coming from a humble place, that may not be the thing. Because then you're going to expect helicopter rides every day, aren't you? How about just having a nice, you know, simple dinner, a coffee? I know some women are too good for having coffee dates. Well, fine. You know, fine. But just know everything has a price. Everything has a price. So I hope that answers that question. And the next was, how do you stop the fear of being deceived again? Well, again, when you learn to trust yourself and you trust that you're going to be okay no matter what comes at you, and if you don't have the answer, you trust that the universe or God himself will send those answers to you at the right moment, then there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear, right? Because the fear only exists in your mind. I can tell you the fear only exists in your mind. When you're face to face with danger, with a perpetrator, right? And you fight back, that fear is gone. It doesn't mean you're brave. It means courage is being built at that moment. But, you know, you have to step into the punch and you have to counter. You have to block and come in there and take them out. If you freeze like a deer in headlights, now you're back in your head and you start thinking, oh my God, if I do this, if I do that, this is going to happen. They're going to take you out because you're in your head. But when you're fighting back, win or lose, you're not in fear anymore because now you're in action, right? You're in action. When you're in action, you get into that zone and there's no thought. You're just doing. So do your best to imagine what that feels like and tell yourself, hey, look, right now, is there a problem right now? No. Could there be a problem an hour from now, 10 minutes from now, tomorrow? Sure. But why am I going to worry about something that most likely is not going to happen? And if it does happen, it's not going to go the way I thought. That's only going to stress me out and create anxiety. Now, there's a difference between preparing for danger and covering, you know, having your ducks in a row and covering every angle. Sometimes when you know there's a perpetrator out there, you know, you need the security that you need, you know, sometimes for your company, you need to have security on your servers and things like that. You want to have a car alarm, you want to lock your doors, things. There's nothing wrong with, you know, scenarios like that. You practice scenarios, okay? But not to the point of obsession. Not to the point of obsession. Not to the point of, oh my God, what if I'm deceived again? And you start replaying the tape of how you were deceived before. Look, if you're deceived again, rejoice that now you know what deceivement feels like and looks like, and now you have the tools to handle it. Because shit happens. You know, you get fraud, you know, someone does fraud on your credit card, and what do? It's like, fuck, it sucks, but you call the bank. And you report it, and they do an investigation, and most often than not, you get your money back. Unless you're a dumbass and you gave your account number to everybody and made purchases yourself, or, you know, sometimes you do get screwed. So in those areas, you do have to cover your ass a little bit, but you can't be losing sleep wondering if you're going to lose everything all the time, because you're going to miss out on life. I don't know. That's how I do it. And I think the last question was, do you think it will ever go away? Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, it will go away. In my life, it's gone away. Does that mean I don't think of bad shit from time to time? Does that mean bad shit doesn't happen? No, of course things pop up all the time. But it's my choice whether I want to dwell and ruminate about it every single minute of the day, hour after hour after hour, or if I want to put that shit down and go do something else, do something that actually offers me something of quality, that enhances my life somehow. Sometimes it's just going out for a walk. Sometimes it's drinking a glass of water and actually just focusing on the glass of water and how good that water tastes coming down your throat, right? Sometimes that's what you need to give yourself that time out. Put the phone down. Enjoy this cup of water. Taste it. Let it soothe you. Things that we take for granted. Look around you. Is there a problem? Or is the problem in your head? The loneliness, that emptiness that you feel because you miss the narcissist or whatever, but is there really a problem? Is your life in danger? No. You just have this thing. So why is that there? Oh, let's look at that. Why is that there? And you start to think, what am I thinking about? Oh, I'm thinking about all these negative scenarios. I'm thinking about all this lack. I'm thinking of all these, I've lost. Oh, I lost her. I'm not going to have her anymore. She was so beautiful, and we had the best sex, and blah, blah, blah. You start having those thoughts. You start having those conversations with yourself. Of course, you're going to feel the way that you're feeling. But if you're on this channel now, if you're watching videos like this, then chances are that your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife or whatever were abusive and neglecting and gaslighting and manipulating and triangulating and projecting the shit onto you, and we're a fucking nightmare. So why don't you go back and remind yourself, yeah, this person bad, this was bad. They did all this shit. Oh, good, this person's no longer in my life. Awesome. Because when you get sick, again, I'll bring up a fucking cold or a virus or whatever. Don't you want that shit to be out of your system? You want that shit to be out of your system. You're not sitting there, oh no, I'm no longer sick. I can't stay home anymore. I wish I was still sick so I can call out from work again. No, you're miserable. You're in bed, you have a fever, you have a runny nose. It's misery. You want to get better. Fuck it, yeah, you gotta go to work. You gotta make money. Show up. Do something. Get out of bed. That's all I got for today, guys. You know, I run out of steam. But yeah, I hope that answers your questions. Yeah. Thanks for sending them in. If you have more, by all means, guys, share your questions in the comments below. If you'd like to work with me directly, I do have a private coaching program. I work with a lot of survivors of narcissistic abuse. I have information for that in the link below in the description, or the one that's flashing right here on the screen. And if you'd like to support the channel, I also have a link below where you can get some merch, some Psychopath Exposure merch. I know a lot of you for years have been asking me when I'm going to put out the merch, and it's out there now. So feel free to get yourself a shirt or a coffee mug or a hoodie or whatever you want. And if you got some value, as usual, smash that like button. Smash that like button so lets me know you liked the information and it helped you. All right? So keep moving forward, guys. Get out of bed. Go do something, okay? Or go watch one of my other videos if you're addicted to watching narcissist videos. I have more videos below and in my channel. And that's it for today. So I'm going to sign out. Psychopath Exposure. This is Kita, and I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.